Okay, hello everyone. Today we're going to make a plated dessert with lemon, Orelys chocolate, and raspberry. I'm going to show you two different things how to make, which we're going to make the Orelys Cremeaux, and we're also going to do the raspberry Panna Cotta, and then after that we'll plate. So for the Orelys Cremeaux, we're going to start with, here I've put in 125 grams of cream and 125 grams of milk. And we're just gonna start heating that up, and I'm gonna go in with about a tablespoon of sugar in there, and we're just gonna bring that to the boil. We're gonna boil that up and put it over our egg yolk and make it into a crème anglaise. For those who wonder what Orelys chocolate is, it's a type of chocolate from valrhona, which has it has tones of licorice in it. So that's come up to the boil. I'm just going to put it over our egg yolk. I'm just going to give it a mix. And we're just going to bring that up quickly to about 82, 84 degrees. Basically until it thickens a bit. Okay, and then we're going to pour that over our chocolate, and also go in with 1 leaf of gelatin, which I already hydrated. The gelatin which we use in here is I've used a silver gelatin, so it's 170 bloom. Now we're gonna use the hand blender to mix it. It's always important that we emulsify it really good with the hand blender, so we get a good creamy cremeaux. Otherwise you can have tendency to have small pieces in them if you just whisk it by hand. So really important to use the hand blender. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is for this cremeaux, I'm gonna put it into a mold. If you want, you can just put it into a piping bag and plate it, but I'm gonna use this square mold for it. So we're just gonna put it in a sauce dispenser. And fill them up in the mold. What we're going to do now is I'm going to put them in the blast freezer, and then after that I'm going to spray them. For this next recipe we're going to make the raspberry panna cotta. What I've done already, I've taken the cream and the vanilla and I brought them to the boil to leave to infuse. So I left it for about half an hour after to infuse, and now I brought it back onto the heat. So I'm going to bring it back up to the boil, and I'm going to add our sugar to it. going to give it a whisk. We want to melt in the sugar. We don't need to really cook it too much, but we want to melt the sugar. And to that we're going to add our gelatin again. Again, I've rehydrated this before. We're just going to melt that in. For the puree, today we're using raspberry, but you can basically use whatever you want. You can take blueberry or strawberry, works fine. What I usually do is I don't like to boil the puree too much because I don't want to lose any color in it. So once I put in the puree, I'll take off the heat, so I turn it off. I'll just give it a whisk. Again, we're going to put it into a mold, this one. For this mold, we're going to use the tourbillon mold. And what I usually do is I go around it with a toothpick, so I get all the air bubbles out of it. What I usually do, I'll just take like a toothpick or a kebab, like this one, and I'll go around the whole thing because I really like to get the air bubbles out of it. I hate when it has a lot of air bubbles in mold, so I want to get rid of it. You can also give it a shake, the whole tray, but I usually like to actually do both, so we get it all of the bubbles out. Okay, and that also we're going to put in the freezer till it's ready. Okay, the Cremeaux is set, and I've taken them out of the mold, and I'm just going to spray them a bit with a velvet spray. You can also use a compressor. Usually what I'll do is I'll use a compressor, but today, to make it easy, I'm just going to use this canister. And we're just looking so we get like a nice pink finish on it. And there you have them, so they're ready. And I'm going to just keep them in the freezer for now, till we plate. Okay, we're going to start plating our dessert now, and we're going to start by taking our sablé dough, which we made a tart out of, and we're going to fill in with this lemon curd. I'm just going to flatten it out a bit. Put that on the side of the plate. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take one of our panna cottas, our raspberry ones, and we're going to place that on top of the tart. And we're going to take our Cremeaux. I'm just going to take them. sauce there. Next thing we're gonna take this white chocolate with ganache that I made. We're just gonna pipe it, give it a couple of dots there. We're gonna take a couple of fresh raspberries. We're gonna take some frozen dried raspberry. I'm just gonna drop some. And a little bit of caramelized white chocolate, which we're going to use here, so gives it a bit of texture, and also so our ice cream doesn't run around the plate all the time. Next thing we're going to take this raspberry gel. We're going to give it a couple of dots also. We're going to garnish with a little bit of these red oxalis. We're going to add these chocolate decoration that I made. This chocolate, it's not with any added colors, it's just raspberry inspiration and white chocolate, so that's where we get our pink color from. I'm just gonna put on a glove so we don't have any fingerprints on the chocolate. I'm just gonna add that there. I'm gonna do one big one and one smaller one. And we're just going to finish it off with a quenelle of raspberry ice cream. And there you have it, raspberry, Orelys and lemon.